Welcome to Chalk Talk, Danville Public Schools weekly news magazine. I'm Diane Locker, your host. What we really want to do is to welcome you to a new school year. This is the beginning of the 2014-15 school year. We're very excited about it, and I know every parent out there and every student is excited too. Have you ever wondered why the school looks so great that first day you show up? And we're going to show that to you this week, exactly how that happens. Teachers come back a week before the students come back, and we call that pre-planning. Sometimes it's called work days, sometimes it's called pre-planning. But what happens is you're going to see how they completely turn a school around. One thing to keep in your mind is when those teachers leave in June, everything has to be taken down because we do something called deep cleaning, things that we can't do when students are here. And that means that this week, during pre-planning, they're going to put it all back together again. We're here at Forest Hills, and I'm going to bring the principal in here from Forest Hills, Catherine Lassiter. Now, Catherine, come on over here. One thing I want you to notice about Catherine standing here, if you're a parent here at Forest Hills, everything you see, every morning, when you come to school, you're going to see Catherine standing right here because they welcome each and every student. And what we're doing right now is we're welcoming the community to see what is pre-planning.
Oh my goodness. Pre-planning is the difference between a great school year and a not so great school year. I know all during summer, people walk up to me and ask me how I'm using all my free time. And I love that question because any principal will tell you there is no free time in the summer. This week, the teachers are back and they are taking care of their own classrooms. But the entire summer is spent getting ready for pre-planning week.
Now, right now, we're kind of like in the middle. We're taping in the middle of pre-planning, but things have been going on. Now, I believe the first day of pre-planning, didn't you kind of like get together with everyone? And it's probably the only time this year you're going to be able to do that, pull everyone together.
Well, the first time we get together as a faculty, it's to basically go over any kind of changes that have happened and that they need to start thinking about as they're working on their classrooms. It's also the first time that new members of the faculty are with the entire faculty. We start our first day of pre-planning week with breakfast. So we had breakfast and had kind of relaxed and had those casual conversations. But the faculty meeting at the middle of the day is when we start getting down to business.
Now, you talk about that meeting, and we're here in the middle of the week. I think we need to say right now, though, I was here probably a couple of weeks ago, and the halls were all jammed with all of these boxes and everything, but there was something else, too. Teachers were already here, and it's not part of their contract. They were here getting a jump start on pre-planning instead of just waiting until this week. So I think people don't realize sometimes how much goes on during the summer.
A huge amount of work goes on during the summer. The teachers, the nature of being a teacher is usually you take June off and you relax. In July, you start getting what I call the itch. You start needing to kind of get back, and you begin to start thinking about the coming year. And they will be coming in the month of July constantly, starting to work in their rooms and starting to prepare.
I think one of the things that you said about planning for a successful school year is it's so important how you've planned for that. But I think that the organization of a classroom has been proven over and over again in research and everything else that helps in learning, setting that learning environment, having that whole environment that just pushes these children forward. And I think that also pertains to this building. What I would like to do now is I'd like for you and I to start. We're going to be children first day of school and see what this lobby of the school looks like. And just from that point, get out there and see what some of the teachers are doing too.
All right, come on in.
Let's go on in.
All right.
On. Ms. Lassiter, I see an awful lot just walking in the door. Now, obviously, you've already been working, and this is kind of set up for what they're going to see when they come in. Let's take a walk around here and look at some of these things.
Okay.
I have to start off probably by talking about what looks like to me like a Christmas tree. But this is a special tree for Forest Hills, isn't it?
This is a very special tree for Forest Hills, and it's a tree that's there because of a question a kindergarten student asked me 8 years ago. When I first came here, we put the tree up during our winter holiday time, and we decorated it, and we invited our children to bring food for different agencies in town and the Humane Society. Huge success. The children were fabulous. In January, when the children came back, I was taking it down. And one of the kindergartners asked me what I was doing, and I said, I'm taking the tree down. And the child said to me, don't people get hungry all year? And I said, they do. Should we leave it up? And he said, yes.
What is this, another one of those out of the mouth of babes?
Absolutely.
Comes real wisdom.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this became our giving tree, and its appearance changes with the holidays. It will change 4 or 5 times a year.
Now, I would assume because you've got, let's look over these particular things, these letters here. Is this just because it's the beginning of the school year, letter and word recognition type things?
We had to come up with some kind of a theme that fit August. Before we starting early, it was a fall tree. But you don't put fall things on a tree in August. So we decided nautical flags would be really fun.
And that's what's up here. These are nautical flags, right?
Nautical flags. And of course, our motto is we're going to sail into a new year.
And now you just tied the whole thing together for me. Now, you told me a little bit earlier about these books, but let's let the community know what it's all about.
When you have a small school, you have very minimal storage. And so the rule at Forest Hills at the end of every year and at the beginning of every year is clean your closet. So any books and things that are not things that the system has purchased that have to stay in the room. These are all things that the teachers bought or that they got as samples, however they got all these little books. They don't need them anymore. So we will have signage up here encouraging children just to take some books home. And we have...
Can they keep them once they take them home?
They keep them. They're theirs.
This is a very important concept in reading. It's bring out my old reading teacher thing. For children to own books and have books at home is very significant. And this is a wonderful way for children to get books.
It is. It is. And they love it. They love walking out, having a book in their hands. What I really, really like is when my children come and they have their little sibs who aren't in school yet, and I tell the little ones they can take a book. And I tell they can take more than one. Anything they see that they like, they're welcome to take, because under this table are more boxes of books. So we will leave these out here probably at least through the first 9 weeks.
Is this something that is ongoing all year, or just until this new supply from last year is given out?
It's ongoing as long as we have books to give away. The idea of tossing a book, no.
Books never get old.
No, they don't.
And they never get out of date.
No, they don't. And you're right. To be able to own it, to be able to read it, to be able to give it to a friend who might want it later is pretty significant and important. And reading is such a focus in this building. I think this is a great thing for them to see when they walk in the door.
Also taking that book home and reading it, maybe to younger siblings or reading it to mom and dad, it's very significant, very significant.
Exactly.
Now, you've got something going on tonight and something going on, I believe, tomorrow night. Tell us about that.
Tonight, my kindergartners are invited to come in, just my kindergartners and their families. They will come at 5:30, and I will have a structured presentation for them. I like to go over the handbook and some of the things that I know I want them to know the first day the children walk in. They get so much at the beginning of the year that I want to make sure that specific things have their attention.
Now, it sounds like you've split it up between kindergarten parents and then the rest of the parents. And talk a little bit about what's different about, I think we know, what's different about those kindergarten parents and the rest of the parents.
Right. The meeting tonight with the kindergarten parents, like I said, is a little more structured. After I have some time with them, they will go to their homerooms or their classrooms. The teachers will share with them specific things about how the class will run. They're even going to give them a demonstration on how to sit and read with their children, because people don't know. I had to go down the hall and talk to Miss McGregor, one of my kindergarten teachers, a few years ago when my first grandchild came along, and I had to say, Miss McGregor, do I point at each word, or do I let my finger flow under a sentence? So it's really important for the parents to know the best way with their emerging readers to sit and read with them. So they will spend some time doing that, and then the little ones will be encouraged to roam all over the building. They'll go to the cafeteria and get cookies and go through the line to get them, just giving them an opportunity not to be with the great big ones, to feel ownership of the building.
I taught kindergarten, and one thing that I always remember about the first day of school, and maybe it's because we didn't do that really good background that you're talking about, is parents come in, children will cry and carry on. Parents will finally just drag themselves away. It's killing them. By the time they get down the hall, the child looks, sees that they're gone, and quits crying. And I wish all the parents knew that, because I think they feel like they're leaving their sobbing child for the first day of school.
They do. And when the parents come back out the front door the first day, the kindergarten parents, usually the mom is crying and the dad is comforting. And I say to the dads, take her to breakfast, have a date, go out and have a moment. She'll be fine. He'll be fine. The child is mine. They're going to be absolutely fine. So
we have more preschools now than maybe we had in the past. I'm thinking all the way back to when I was teaching. Do you see a significant difference in entering kindergarten students that have already been in a preschool, and especially one of the preschools that we have here in the city? Things like lining up, walking down a hall, all of those kind of maintenance skills are taken care of. Do you see a real difference?
I see a huge difference, not only in children understanding how to function within what the little ones call the big school, because they were in the little school the year before, but they're so ready. Yes. They already have so many of those kindergarten skills, or else they're on the verge of having those kindergarten skills.
Or those kindergarten, not only the school skills, they've got those kindergarten social skills down, how to work with other children and things.
Right. It's really difficult for a greatly loved child to figure out that they have to wait their turn with 18 other children. That's tough. Yeah. And if they've gone to preschool, they know that. If they've gone to preschool, they understand bathroom breaks and cafeteria manners and how you move and function within a group. But the thing that I notice in addition to that is they are like little sponges in pre-K, and they just soak up what those wonderful teachers give them.
Now, Ms. Laster, where are we headed now?
We are going to Miss McGregor's kindergarten class. We're passing Miss Cross, who is our art teacher, and she is getting some signage ready for me. She usually doesn't come in, but she does. She's one of those folks that comes even before she's supposed to.
Whether they need to or not.
Right, this is our signage for our free books that she is doing.
Ms. Cross, let me ask you something. Do you have a classroom that the students come to you, or do you go to the students?
I go to the students. I have a cart, but I keep all of my supplies in the hallway and in the auditorium, and then I move from room to room and upstairs and out to the cottages.
Now, do you do kindergarten all the way up, all the way through?
The whole school, and I get to see everybody, and that's the best part about my job, I think, is seeing all the kids.
You work with the whole school, not just
everybody.
That's great. Nice sign.
Thank you.
She's wonderful. You'll have to come back when the walls are covered with art.
I've been here many times when the walls are covered with art, and this is all like one big, huge easel when you're through, Irby Hall in the school.
It is. We're passing our auditorium where we have music. Mr. Kessling is in there trying to get all of his equipment ready. He again teaches everyone, so he will meet with every child every week.
So we have art and music that travel around the school.
They come to him. They can come to him. He has instruments and all types of different things that are going on in there depending on the age of the child, from singing to playing orff instruments.
But what you're saying is everybody gets art and everybody gets music.
Absolutely.
Now, I think we've got all of our kindergarten teachers in
They're
here,
in
don't
there.
we?
They're in there.
Let's get in there and see what they're doing.
Okay.
Now, you have 3 kindergarten teachers, and that means you have 3 units of kindergarten.
That's correct. That's correct. And if you look around this room, a couple of weeks ago, nothing was in here. Everything was boxed up and on this little stage area. So I'm overwhelmed when I come in here and realize what has happened, the transformation that has happened. This is Miss McGregor's classroom. Now, Miss McGregor has been doing this for over 30 years, so she knows how to be.
She has got this down pat.
She's got it down pat, but I think the thing that people in the community don't realize is these ladies start making really definite plans once they know who their children are, because it doesn't work the same every year.
Another thing, too, though, and I think we forget, but everything that I'm looking at around this room, all of the colorful things, the bulletin boards, once again, these are all teacher-made.
A lot of them are teacher-made.
They may have some commercial products, but you look and you see these are basically teacher-made things.
Exactly, exactly. There's a combination of teacher-made and purchased. The things up on the walls up high she made. The bulletin board, she probably purchased her little frogs, but everything else she made to fit with the students and to fit with her curriculum.
I'm going to bother them.
Okay.
Can I interrupt you guys?
Yes.
Oh, I forgot how small these chairs are. I'm looking around the room, and I know you guys have put up all that. Now, this is your classroom.
Yes.
All right. But I'm looking around here, and I'm sure you have the same type of classroom. And the thing that's really neat is every single thing that's hanging up in here is not just a decoration. It's a teaching tool.
Right.
I can see numbers. I saw the months of the year. I know my colors. I can tie my shoes, those things, everything. And it's beautiful. It looks great. Ms. Laster, this is a wonderful space.
It
Now,
is.
we're in the library now. And actually, this is like half of the library because we have another half over there that's full of computers. And I think that's your lab.
That's our lab. Our nonfiction offerings are also over there. This is fiction on this side. This is truly the heart of the building. If reading drives everything, the library has to be the heart. And it is, and it always has been.
It's also got to be bright and welcoming, and this certainly is. Now, we met your art teacher, Ms. Cross, a little bit earlier, and I think you told me she's the one that did all of this work over here on the steps.
She did. She did our tree. If you notice, our steps are the ends of books that the children can read. The balcony area is, once you reach 3rd grade, you may read on the balcony. The books are all coded and color-coded for our accelerated reader program. And Miss Arn spends her entire summer researching and purchasing books and revitalizing the stacks.
Now, we talked about music is every child's exposed to music and every child's exposed to art every week. Does every child have the opportunity to visit the library every day, every week? How does that work?
It works whatever the child needs is what we give them. For example, every child is scheduled for a 45-minute block in the library. During that time, Ms. Arn will teach a lesson, might show a video. She does something that ties in with what's going on in the classrooms. She teaches research skills. It's a very significant learning experience. In the morning, she has open library, so if a child has finished a book, they can get another one. Throughout the day, every week, there are blocks of time when a child can come to the library.
So that really gives them a lot of access to the library and a lot of what, I don't know what the word would be, like free access to go and, let's say, kind of browse what's in the library. Because I think one of the things, even myself, I love going in bookstores and just looking at the books, even if I don't get one. It's just the being in that atmosphere of reading like you talked about earlier.
And again, we talked downstairs about technology versus old school. And one of the most exciting lessons that she does with our children is she pulls out encyclopedias. and thesauruses and dictionaries and globes, things they put their hands on. And it's like a whole new world for them. It knocks them out. And I think
I
that
thought all that information was on a computer, not in a book.
they did. And they will take an encyclopedia and treat it like a library book they've checked out. The idea that they can look at more than one thing, that they can flip through and see an article and see a picture. It's a resource that I don't think we use enough because of how excited the children get when they can be exposed to some of the older ways to get information.
Ms. Lassiter, obviously we have moved out of the building and we're outside now, and I believe you referred to these classrooms as cottages?
These are learning cottages. We have 4, 2 third grades and 2 fourth grades.
Now, they're outside, but I think even in inclement weather, you don't have to get out in the weather. That's what this is, isn't it?
These covers protect our children. My third grade has to scoot out to get under them, but covers are coming, I understand, sometime, in the near future. But the children, they enjoy it out here. They have a couple of little perks that come along with it. They've got their playground that's right here.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, it's a nice kind of open atmosphere here with the playground here, and I believe you around from us here, there's also playground equipment, isn't there?
There's playground equipment on the other side. We have picnic tables under a tree over there, and occasionally one of the teachers will say, let's go outside and read. So it's not a bad place to be. They do have to come in to take advantage of all the facilities that are in the building, but it's a tight little community out here. We lovingly call it the village. So
Now, we've got 3rd and 4th grade out here. Now, we've talked to the kindergarten teachers and we've talked to some of your special area teachers. What I'd like to do now is catch one of these teachers that are teaching, let's say, some of the older ones and see how they get ready for a first day.
okay, we'll see who's home.
Let's go. Allison, you are a 4th grade teacher.
I am.
Now, this is, Ms. Lassiter told me, a cottage, a learning cottage. Now, have you ever taught in a classroom?
I have.
Now, how do you feel about being in the cottage as opposed to being in a classroom?
It's definitely a different atmosphere, but I work with it and we make it work, and there are pros and cons just like there is inside of the building. So
No joke. For everything, there's a pro.
really
There's a pro and con. Now, you're obviously getting ready here. What do you do? We've talked to a kindergarten teacher and we've talked to the special area teachers. You're working with a child that's a bit older than that. What do you expect that first day when, let's say, these 4th graders come in?
a whole lot of routines, as we do across the grade levels, just building routines, building a repertoire with the children, and making sure they understand our expectations and that we communicate what they think their expectations would be for me as a teacher and what I think their expectations are as a student. I think if we build that foundation, then they can do great things as far as learning goes. We've got that under control.
Now, obviously, you also feel that it's important to have that learning environment, too.
Yes.
Did you do all of this work here, these trees and things around here?
I did not. When I came in partway through the year last year, it was already set up as far as that decor goes.
Is it set up by the people that put the cottages up, or is this something a teacher did?
I'm pretty sure a teacher could do whatever she has time and effort to do. One of the third grade teachers did a beautiful job of painting hers and really made it look really awesome. I've kind of pulled the red and the black and gone with our school colors as far as my bulletin boards go, but that was my personal touch.
Now, do you think you're going to be ready by Monday?
Definitely. Yeah.
I think you're well on your way.
I'm pretty good. I'm just kind of going through some organizing things that just make me feel a little bit better about it. I'm ready for the kids if they wanted to walk in tomorrow. So,
sounds good. Thanks for talking to me.
Thank you.
Now, this is a third grade classroom. Now this looks completely different than the other cottage that we were just in, and this shows, I would say, the individuality of what teachers can do in in their own rooms.
Exactly. And it kind of shows the difference in a language arts teacher and a math teacher. If you look around, you see Very, very clean and precise walls and furniture and setting.
And colors. I'm struck in this room by the colors and the beautiful little curtains and everything. Very colorful.
Miss Porch.
And that's the teacher in this room.
Miss Porch, Leanne Porch. She's my third grade math and science teacher. And she needs to make her nest. And so she owns her room. She had a room in the building before she moved out here. It wasn't these colors, but it was the same kind of style. It was vibrant and energetic and fresh and beautiful.
I think that sometimes we forget that teachers live the whole year in the room they're in. And teaching is one of those professions that you are allowed to kind of make your environment something that you enjoy being in, not only for the children, but for you.
Absolutely, and they have to do that, because if you were to look around here, she could, when she gets down here, she can tell you exactly how she uses every part of this room for instruction.
The one thing, and this points up something that you're just saying, every single room that we've been in, and you look around what's in that room, everything's a different color, everything's a different style, but everything is a learning tool.
Absolutely, and it has to be. And I think that when a teacher takes ownership of a room the way Ms. Porch did, the children love walking in. They love the way it looks. They know exactly what's expected of them when they're in here. They know the routine, but they understand, just like Ms. Mann was saying, after the first week, they know exactly the expectations of behavior, work, play, times when they can have choices over what they're going to do, times when they have to go with the program. But this room is just a delight to walk into.
I think that speaks to what you said in the very first part of this show about if you want to have a successful year, you have to have a successful start. The environment, it's obvious throughout the school, from the lobby out here to the learning cottages. There's been a lot of work put in getting ready for students.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the teacher's part of that is you can't put a price on it. It's invaluable. The fact that as I walk through the halls now, a couple of days before the children get back, I'm hearing the teachers laugh. I'm hearing them interact, on kind of a joyful level. I think that's really important, and I know that feeling is going to carry into our new year.
That's what we need. Ms. Laster, we've visited all around the building, and we've seen what individual teachers are doing. And we've seen what, as a group, they've done in the lobby and in those special areas. I think this speaks so much to the community out there and to parents that are sending us their students, what we are going to be doing with them when they get here. And everything is set up beautifully. And I think the first day of school is going to be wonderful.
It will. It will. And I will tell you that the best part of the first day will be standing on the porch and seeing them come in the building, because they're so excited. The parents are excited. Everyone is ready to start a new year. A lot of the children will say they were getting bored with summer and they're glad to be back. They miss their friends, and they're really looking forward to a new year. It just doesn't get any better.
It doesn't get any better, and I know you're going to be out there on that porch. That wasn't just something you were saying. I know you'll be there every day. I've seen you rain, snow, shine, whatever's out there, you're out there, because those kids are going to be coming in. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of a very busy time for you and these teachers for us to come in here and go through the school. But I think this is so important for the community to know what we're doing to get ready for them.
We're going to be ready, and they're going to come in ready, so we better be prepared.
Whether or not they're going to be here.
Whether or not, here they come.
I want to thank all of you for tuning in this week, and once again, I want to say welcome to an exciting new school year. This is the 2014-15 school year, and you can just see from what you've seen in this show how excited we are about getting the students back in here and to start learning. Be sure to tune in each week and find out what we're doing here in Danville Public Schools.